These are the 3 steps we used to close 2 $2,500 clients with a VSL, kinda. So this is fun. I always enjoyed the process of like changing stuff, messing around, iterating, and ultimately like, hey, maybe this could work, maybe it's not, let's try. And so the basic structure of most client getting processes, it's very Russell Brunson, very standard. Everybody gets this. It's called the 2-step or a 3-step or an add or whatever. So it's add and then VSL and then call. That's it. And by the way, if you master these 3 processes right here, you can literally go to $1 million. Yeah. Just get good at the add, VSL, and a phone call. You can literally go to $1 million. And we plan on doing as such. The core reasons why this is such a powerful skill set is because the add is what gets attention. The VSL is what turns attention into interest. And the phone call is what turns interest into a purchase. That's it. Add, VSL, phone call. You can make an argument about like there should be derivatives of other stuff, like you need to have a retargeting sequence, or your VSL should follow a certain format, or you should call people back in 15 minutes, but that's tactics level stuff. I'm talking about as a concept and a strategy, add, VSL, and phone call. That's all you have to do. And stereotypically, this add to VSL to phone call, this VSL right here is like 5-10 minutes long, pre-conquers some objections, talks about people, blah, 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 get them excited, talk about phone call. Kind of like normal process that we've all seen and kind of a little bit hate, right? And so we have a VSL and it's working, but I wanted to try something different. I wanted to see what would happen if we change this up. So instead of being a normal VSL, what I ended up doing was, I guess you could call this a split test, an A/B test. I don't know if that's the right term, but I just wanted to try something different. See if we can line this up. Come on, you know what I'm trying to do. I think I'm the only old man that argues with Google Docs. So we want to do something different. I just wanted to try something out and see what happens, but I didn't want to shoot a VSL. So instead, I talked with my dream client for 20 minutes. Or 30 minutes. I effectively had an interview with one of our clients that called me up and was like, hey, you know, I just closed a $30,000 deal because you guys thank you so much. I was like, yo, I really appreciate it. Can we schedule a Zoom session? I asked you how it worked, all that fun stuff, kind of like chaptered up, pull out smart information and then make it repeatable for you. He goes, sure. So we schedule a Zoom meeting. He sits down at his desk and we just talk shop like, all right, Mr. Z, it looks like you did X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3. Can you walk me through on the steps that you did to turn interest into a $20,000 or even $30,000 sale for you and your business? He goes, sure, and he just talks. And I'm doing my normal interview process that you've seen me do a million times. Okay, wait, so what I'm hearing is like your first step was blank, and he goes, yeah, that was the first step. I was like, all right, very cool. So you did that. That was the big thing. What happened to the second step? Like what happened after that? What did the person say? What was that conversation like? Did you have to downsell? What's going on there? He's like, okay, so when they came in, this is what we said. Okay, so step number 2, step number 3, step number 4. So now all I did was talk shop with my dream client for 30 minutes, and I came out with 4 steps to landing a $30,000 deal. That's it. And it's not a VSL. It's just an interview of me and the guy that I have as a client who's like, yo, thanks so much for doing your Facebook ads program, all that stuff. And we all have a good client. And all I did was record his stuff. That's it. So I was like, all right, let's try this VSL, see what happens. And instead of doing like the add to VSL and then doing an A/B test, turns out I thought I was doing an A/B test. Turns out I did it wrong, right? I was like literally auditing this last night just after my salesperson says it worked again. And I was like, oh, I definitely did not do this right at all. But it fucking worked anyway. Turns out we had 2 separate ads, each pointing to a different VSL. So it wasn't like an A/B test. Turns out I was just trying a whole different ad completely. And the ad literally said something like, and I can't share this with you unless like you're inside of my paid program, literally said, our like ex-client just landed a $30,000 deal. See how you can up your closing by 300%. Something like that. The cool part about this is the sales calls that turned into money, this funnel right here literally paid us $5,000. Like these 3 steps, ad, VSL, phone call, paid us $5,000. The narrative with those clients were literally people that already had businesses that worked, wanted to up their close rate, and wanted to learn how that guy did the same. And so my salesperson's frame was no longer like, yo, we'll get you leads, we'll grow your business, blah, blah, blah. It was a business that wants to grow, had a very specific problem that needs to be solved, and it was willing to spend money to do it. Now it becomes a framing conversation, not a sales objection conversation, not an offer conversation, but a framing conversation. You know, when I talk to all these digital marketing companies, just like you guys, it's always blank, blank, and blank. Hey, Mr. Johnson, I hear you loud and clear. Let me just take a step back real fast. What's one of the reasons why you think you aren't closing more $30,000 deals? What makes you think you're not doing a good job? Oh, because of blank, blank, and blank. Gotcha, okay. And you're interested in seeing the way another client of ours like increased their closing rate by 300% by following our scripts. Gotcha, okay. Well, we can definitely show you how to do that inside of our paid program. And what we're gonna be making sure to do is not only that you have access to the coaches that can help you do that, we're also gonna be running your ads for you, so there's more accountability for you and your team. Awesome, cool, here's a check. That happened twice. This process literally paid us $5,000. So this one shift paid my agency $5,000 in less than a week. And let's just say that's monthly recurring revenue. No ever guarantee that like monthly recurring revenue actually like happens, but hey, they sign a contract, it's as good as it's gonna get. So this ad in this VSL stereotypically is like, hey, my name is Jeff and I wanna help you get more customers and blah, blah, blah. And we're gonna generate leads for you on the internet, like very stereotypical Facebook ads, lead generation type stuff. The second ad and second VSL is like, hey, our clients got amazing results. We can help you increase your closing rate. Watch this video and learn how our clients are doing something similar. And that process, I believe, is getting better frame, better conversations, and attracting the type of clients that already are on their way that just need a small change. Like it's almost impossible to move a rock, but once it's moving, it's very easy. So it's the same exact thing. So this ad right here stereotypically says like, hey, we want to help you get more clients, more customers, stuff like that. This ad right here is saying like, hey, we're already doing a good job. Would you like how to do better? That's it. So maybe this is a new offer and this is an improvement offer. I don't know. But simply by having a 20, 30-minute conversation with a dream client, pulling out those steps like you've seen me do on my internet show before that you all been watching, having a great time with, and like getting those like smart, oh my God, epiphany moments. Cool. I created an ad that drove people to it, put money behind it. I think we spent like $1,000 and we made $5. Works for me, not including if they stick around. And stereotypically, because these people are on a 90-day narrative, they will stick around for a 90-day narrative. And because we talked about the coaching, not so much the Facebook ads, the lead generation part, they're gonna stick around for that, get an ROI. So this $1,000 could be paying me, I don't know. Nope. Could be paying me $15,000, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, that turned out pretty darn well. So that one shift, $5,000 MRR, monthly recurring revenue, added to our agency in less than a week. And I continue, and I plan on doing this process again and again. We've got about 5 or 6 great dream clients working with us right now. I'm gonna have Zoom calls with all of them once a week, every week, and then pull out that stuff, run more ads, and continue this process. And my suspicion is that this right here will attract a better frame and better narrative than this right here. And probably set the stage up for a longer term relationship where they're just paying more money over time and happier with it. So yeah, I hope that answers your question, ladies and gents.